Welcome back to Point Blank here at KTN News. Mheshimiwa Isaac Ruto, you have seen like one politician against the environment. You know, in this country we have 5 water towers. Critical water tower is the Mau forest. And you have been on record as one of the champions of encroachment into the Mau. And people think that you do it to suit your political purposes in Bomet and so on. Don't you think you need to be responsible on the environmental matters which are affecting our water towers here in Kenya?
I want to tell you that I think that is a misconception. I do not support any encroachment, and I do not support anyone who interferes with the environment. That is why I was having serious questions even about the huge dam next to, that is a Titare Dam. And throughout the period, even when we were discussing the first evictions with Raila Odinga when he was Prime Minister, we gave him a proposal on how to recover the environment. We are simply saying, if you really want people to be displaced, you don't arrive one evening and you start burning houses and beating them up. The people who went in there, most of the people who went in there, went in to occupy land identified by the government, allocated by the district commissioners. So it was a government process that led into those settlements. The other parts of the settlements were basically trust lands, which were given again by the County Council of Narok. What we've been saying is environment is critical. And if we really want to recover the lands that have been allocated, we got to work with the community and the community leaders to give these people alternative sites. For example, if you find Isaac Ruto occupies 20 acres, then you said, fine, we are going to compensate you. This is the law. We are going to compensate you. We've identified your 20 acres in Baruch or wherever it is. We'll move you. But first, before you go, plant trees. We are giving you trees to plant the whole farm, and we've built for you a house on the other side. You'll get the key and the title for that shamba only after you've replanted trees here. But you don't arrive one morning. That is again, and burn my house and impoverish a whole region. For example, children haven't gone to school for over 15 years. Is that the best way to deal with it? We were offering a better way of dealing with it, which has a human face. And that is supported even by the UN conventions on even the habitats.
Yes.
And also the human rights
Let me ask you, because yes, if you have bona fide property owners with title,
yes,
you could make that argument. Yes. But isn't the larger population of settlers in the Mau forest illegal settlers?
No.
That are they people with title?
Yes. And they are with titles. You know, the problem we have out here is that the information doesn't come out. Why was the matter thrown out by the courts? Why was the eviction thrown out of the courts in 2010? For example, when the Kibaki government first started it, including, was it Kimunya? It was Kimunya, saying those title deeds are fake. They are pieces of paper. Yet they were issued by the Lands Ministry. You had recently Karone, the Minister for Land, saying those titles are valid. The question is, the titles were issued, and this was trust land. It was gazetted. What is the issue? Why are you banning my house for something which another
Your critics will say that a lot of the policy for removing people in the Mau has been the same for riparian land. That this country has had a situation where land planning has just been thrown out of the window. People were even given beachfront. If you go to Mombasa and elsewhere, where even here road access has even been denied by people with titles, but people who are given titles in the wrong way.
We can understand the developers here. I don't speak for them. I don't know. I'm not a property dealer here. The point, I represent a constituency that wants their views heard. I have to bring those views to the fore. And the point here is they have certain rights to property. And if the government settles me there is a difference between me going to the Ministry of Lands and crooking my way until I get a
at point blank you shall be heard.
But the point down there is, look, these are people who were settled there by the government. The district commissioner did the allocation. and then the Ministry of Lands. And then when you go there and check the land before you buy it, you do a search. The search tells you this is okay. Now go and occupy your land. Now, and then all of a sudden the same government arrives and ban the houses. We are simply saying that may have been, and in fact that could have been a mistake by those governments. Now the question we should do is, how do we sort out this problem? You don't go killing people so that you solve a problem. So what you say, we are going to move these people.
So I'm asking...
identify the land.
I'm asking Isaac Ruto point blank.
Yes.
Are you committed yourself to the preservation of the Mau?
Kabisa.
And
we even offered to the Uhuru government that, look, to resolve the issue, can we now meet myself, Governor Tunai, can we meet with Chief Kwany, and Governor, the State House Controller now, Mbugwa? Can we meet with the Office of the President and the Ministry of Environment and the forest agencies? Can we now meet and come up with a program to resolve this question once and for all? They never listened again. For the entire 4 years I was in office, they refused to listen to us.
So let's just tell them again, I'm asking you point blank. If there was
ready.
a joint task force involving...
I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm ready to participate in
Tobacco
that.
Forestry, Caroline Lands, Uhuru, everybody, and including the current leadership there.
Yes.
In Bomet.
Yes.
So you are proposing that there needs to be a task
yes,
force?
There needs to be a meeting to draw a roadmap. We don't want task forces of fellows who have no feelings. We want a practical roadmap to reclaim the Mau. And it is very doable. That time, we had even gotten an investor from, I think, one of the eastern countries, I can't remember exactly which one, who was saying we can introduce bamboo planting as a cash crop. And that in bamboo, you will only pick a quarter, and the entire canopy remains. You only pick a quarter of the plants, and you harvest it, and you give it to him. He will do paper, and he will also do furniture, and he will do so many other things which will earn even this country more foreign exchange and will give these fellows income. Even if I have land anywhere close to that area, I can plant bamboo. We will then get the environment restored, but I'll only be picking a quarter in an organized manner, just like they plant tea.
So what is the genesis of the conflict between the Ma people and the Kalenjin people on the issue of the Mau? What is
Southwestern Mau is where the Ma and the Kalenjin communities are having a little conflict. And this conflict is not even out of proportion, because the same Ma groups sold the land, the Kalenjin community, to the Kipsigis to be specific. The only problem that seems to be developing in that area is that the Kipsigis tend to multiply in larger numbers, such that they are now taking over the political power in those areas. Therefore, it creates a risk for the entire political environment. But not that they came and invaded a forest. They never invaded any forest. If there are any little invasion, those are very few cases. But most of the land was actually bought, group ranches, because the Ma people are basically, they have been pastoralists. Yes. So they move around. So they preferred open areas. They did not prefer the wooded lands.
So in your proposal to sort out the Mau issue,
yes,
are you incorporating the need to bring harmony?
Yes, yes, we must bring harmony.
Ma and the
and in fact, I had suggested to Ntimama, last time, even when we were doing boundaries, that what we do, we just create one constituency to bundle all these groups together so that they don't affect the voting patterns amongst the Maasai.
Because the census are coming, which will bring redistricting.
Yes.
And you know, every 10 years, we will have to have a census. Yes. And are you suggesting that at that time it will be important?
I'm in agreement with a number of Maasai leaders that look, not even just the Maasai leaders, the Maasai community that...
they are watching you now. So
they can't, the people who have migrated to those areas cannot start dominating the political scene. It's not fair, because you see, the area, basically, the Maasai must get representation, and they must own their own areas politically. But if too many immigrants arrived, allow me to use that, too many of us move into Narok, and then eventually there is no Masai MP. Then there is no representation for a whole community. So what I had proposed to Lentimama is, why don't we just have just only one constituency? It may look rather outrageous, but I told him, on the upper side, let's create just one constituency. Let them get more of the constituencies, so that then they continue running the political situation in that area.
The census will provide...
But you see,
yes.
because of population multiplication, there is nothing you can do, and it has happened in Nakuru.
Yes.
The Kalenjin community have been outnumbered. Yet they basically believe that Nakuru has been their capital for a very long time. It has been the head of, the capital of Rift Valley. But right now, it is as well part of Central Province. I don't know whether you have land or you have also migrated to Rift Valley.
Yes, I have land.
You are relative wamejaja huko. Sasa they now
yes.
14 governors, they 14 MCS.
Yes.
Now the Kalenjins are running away, going to Kericho, yes. going to the Mau Forest, yes. because they are running away from that area. Yes. Do you expect the Maasai? You've also invaded Kajiado too much.
Yes.
Now, where will the Maasai go? Where will they get their leadership
Now, I'm asking
positions?
you this because, these people don't understand what the census do, other than helping government with services for care, hospitals, and education. Census also look at the boundaries, and they create a review mechanism to ensure representation. So I think the issue of minorities not being ignored is what you're saying. The majority can be hard, but
yes, I'm saying
minority must...
we've got to be very careful about the majoritarian rule. The majoritarian situation where the numbers simply determine representation to the detriment of even what the people who are slowly becoming minorities.
No, that's why parliamentarian system you are proposing can cure. Because as long as you are able to make sure minorities are represented in parliament,
yes.
then obviously a government will be inclusive in a parliamentary system as opposed to an imperial president.
Yes. I would prefer a situation in which minorities are represented. For example, I keep asking, where are the El Molo? Where are the El Molo in this republic? What positions do they occupy in this country? Yet we all know that the El Molo are here. But where exactly are they domiciled? And who represents the El Molo, for example, in parliament? And we need to move in that direction. If they cannot create enough numbers to elect an MP, whether it is in Moyale or in Turkana, then the best thing we do is to keep a nomination slot for the El Molo, because they must be heard. Their culture must be protected. There are certain heritage that we need to protect. They must feel they are part of this country. So we've got to be very careful.
Mheshimiwa, should go beyond just overhauling the executive. It should look also downward.
Yes, it should look downwards. And it should also look at what are we going to do about the gender question. This is one issue that has defeated the two parliaments. The other parliament, and it seems it defeated this one. It defeated the 11th parliament. It has defeated was it the 12th parliament? And then now it's defeating, I don't know whether this one will do. I don't know what will happen, because you see, basically, as a country, we cannot continue to run our affairs to the exclusion of 50% of the population. What do we mean? Why do we lock women out? And what is this story about women being lesser than men?
That is a good point that, though I remember in 1997 when Charity Ngilu ran for president of Kenya, more women voted for men than for her.
But we do not want a situation where women vote for a woman. Then we are also becoming divisive. Then men will vote for men. Then should we now have clashes between men and women? I don't want that situation to develop. What we want to see is, we want to be able to look at the person. Look at Charity Ngilu. She's a very strong woman, very competent, intelligent, capable of providing appropriate leadership. Let's look at her as Charity Ngilu. Let's not look at her as a woman or Mrs. Ngilu. We look at her, Charity, the person. And let's forget about all other things. Let us allow women to play equal roles with the men.
I want to ask you briefly on this corruption.
Yes.
The fight against corruption. Where are you on this matter?
Corruption is a very serious vice, and we put in place the requisite laws. In fact, the laws on corruption are basically adequate. There is only no will to implement. And when we start implementing, we seem to be implementing it sometimes with political expedience. And this is what lends credence to the feelings that is developing that, look, is corruption meant to hit at a specific person? Or is it meant to, what is it, what is the aim? Do the people also, the people who are also investigating, sometimes play a role in damaging themselves? For instance, when they said they had arrested Rotich, those of us who understand the structure of government, and most of you who understand structure of government, you know that, first of all, Treasury is basically run by Thuke. The first person should have been the permanent secretary. But anyway, it doesn't matter, even if it is Ruto. But the question is, where is the implementing ministry? Who raised the requisition for the money? Because I don't think the Treasury will never just wake up one day and say, now we are paying, this week I want to pay that dam. Tomorrow I want to pay this other one. Treasury works on the basis of a requisition for funds, on an approved budget and on an approved procurement process, and with a contract. All sorts of things are normally done long before the Treasury is involved. The Treasury does not normally participate in identifying the agency from which you are procuring from.
So, you know, your people from your region, they say, I come here to bash William Ruto, so let me not go further. I invite them to come.
I speak point blank myself, and I'll ask questions independently. It's not because I want to protect William Ruto or any other, because in any case, he has not been arraigned anywhere.
Yes.
The point I'm also asking is, can the agencies do a professional job? Because we've got the requisite laws. Can they do a proper job? If they do a proper job, this country will be outside corruption. Let me also tell you something else. We have also seen something else. When I've seen it in the counties.
Yes.
They will just arrest one governor or somebody in the counties and then put it headline and then shout, counties are corrupt, we've devolved corruption to the counties. Now, so these counties are useless. Shouldn't we return healthcare back to national government?
What I'm saying, why are they hiding?
This is where the problem is.
They come and explain themselves.
Yes, this is where the problem is.
Point blank, unaita Halwale, ananiambia huko nitachomeka. Na huko anapiga kelele nje. Tell them to come.
No, Halwale is pushing Tanga issues in Western Province. He has forgotten about what he used to say in Parliament. He used to speak so well.
Yes.
But what is it that has happened to him ever since he joined the Tanga? I would like to invite Halwale to tell me more about it.
Yes.
I remember when he was in Parliament, he was tabling some evidence, quote,
yes,
about some maize that got lost. It was Halwale. I was telling him to give us the evidence, not fitina.
Mwambie nimekutuma, KTN nimekutuma.
I will ask Halwale akuja hapa atueleze zaidi.
Awaje kusema huko anajificha, aseme hapa. Now, this man, Isaac Ruto, what portends to your future? Where are you? Are you a contender for president? Are you running? Are you, what happens now?
Isaac Ruto is still is not about to announce his candidature for any seat until when time is ripe, just when 2022 is fit for competitors. As of now, I belong to the other school of thought. I agree with all. There is something I agree a bit with these groups. On that question, I'm fully in agreement with Uhuru Kenyatta, that right now we should let him deliver on his big 4 items that he said he was going to deliver. And I also want to give even my competitor in Bomet time to deliver on her promise to the people, because I'm also a resident there. Why should we waste 5 years sabotaging someone else instead of waiting to see what that other person can deliver? I have told the Chama Mashinani group that, look, let us allow those in offices to deliver to the people. Let us not become an impediment. But we are watching. But the question of 2022 is too early. It is too premature. I suggest 1 year before we will then be able to tell Kenyans, look, here I am. I'm going for this office. And I think there'll be adequate time for us to deal with that. Meanwhile, Isaac Ruto is not about to fade from the political scene. Isaac Ruto is not about to be bought by either of the various contenders. He remains himself, come rain, come sunshine. And you will hear more about me, basically on the ideological front and on issues that, in my view, are basically objective. I will deal with them.
So away from 2022, what basically I was just asking is that, you know, you were known as a governor.
Yes.
And people wanted to know whether or not, and I respect that you are saying that there is a sitting governor.
Yes.
And that is not the time to make the announcement. My only view was because of the national landscape, the idea that you were talking about formations. I'm looking at the political parties from the regions.
Yes.
And there are three main political parties in Rift Valley, which is KANU, Chama cha Mashinani, and whichever faction of Jubilee you think of. My question was, is there...
Why don't you call it, the Rift Valley one, you call it Jubilee T.
Yeah.
T for...
T for Tanga.
And then the one in Central Province, you call it Jubilee K.
Jubilee K.
Kieleweke. So in Rift Valley, then we have got Jubilee T.
Yes.
We've got KANU.
Yes.
And we've got Mashinani.
Yes.
Yes.
So what you are saying is Mashinani is right now working to become as dominant as possible.
Yes.
Before sitting
we
down.
We are now looking for, and I'm sure they are listening. I want to urge all Kenyans to register Chama cha Mashinani. And this is a new opening. It's a new front in which, forget about tribal affiliations. Just talk about the things that will deliver food to the people of this republic. We normally tell the other group.
Your core message is what? Strong devolution or more
devolution,
money to the...
we want to strengthen devolution. And we want to turn the agenda to the average Kenyan when allocating resources. We are also telling them, remember, when Jesus was on earth, he told us to pray. Give us this day our daily bread. Don't tell us about 2022. We want today's daily bread. So the national, whoever it is, we want today's bread. We are hungry. You saw, I think I saw something in Asunguka, I think it is in WhatsApp and several other media, where the national government is busy eating, raia wako katikati, and then the county governments are also eating on the other side. This one, akiangalia yule akikula, anaambiwa, this particular one is not devolved. Look back to national government. National government anakula, anamwambia, hapana, hiyo tumedevolve. Enda kwa yule. Sasa anatan pande, and he's not getting anything. Yeah. So the point here we are saying is, Chama cha Mashinani wants us to focus again now on ordinary Kenyans. In fact, what Jubilee is doing currently on the mega projects is that they are giving business to mega business because there is mega money there. But they are forgetting that you need to, for this economy to grow, you need to develop in every rural part. You develop the purchasing power. You got to develop the markets for what you manufacture.
But you had a slogan which was very popular. You don't remind Kenyans. Hii ulianza ile slogan yako ya chama hakuna upuzi hapa. There was no. What was the exact slogan?
I will invite you to our next rally,
yes,
which we will hold in the North Rift. I will invite you to come and watch and listen to what we are saying.
There is no upuzi here.
There is obviously. We don't allow it.
Let me say this, because a lot of people were surprised at the outcome of the last one. You say you are a parliamentary party. You say you have MCAs, and now you're widening your net.
Yes.
So are you saying people thinking Mashinani imekufa? Unajua uongei mambo sana ili sasa usikike kieleweke.
No, I want kieleweke and tangatanga kukulana kwanza wakianguka as they continue eating themselves sisi tusonge.
So I want to say that.
Lakini kieleweke,
yes,
Mashinani iko.
Basi, now, you know, I'm here with Governor Isaac Ruto. Yeye anasema, anaongea na Gideon Moi of KANU. Anasema kuna Jubilee T na kuna Jubilee K katika siasa za Kenya. alafu anasema ya kwamba anataka prime minister to come from any party in a parliamentary system. A nice and a heavy discussion with Isaac Ruto here at KTN. You're watching KTN News.
Point Blank by TG was filmed on location at the Nairobi Serena Hotel.